real quick, I got a special announcement for you guys. Right now, we're running a special promotion over on poodlecfb.com. If you use code WINTER with a capital W, you will receive 40% off the annual deal, which basically locks you in from now and the majority of CFB 26. It's one of the fastest growing communities, so you definitely want to get in now so you'll be locked in for next year. And if you want to stick to the monthly plan, we're running 20% off on the monthly if you use code WINTER2025 with a capital W. So make sure to check it out. The codes and links will be down below in the description and in the comments. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 25 video, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the worst abilities and stats defensive edition in Dynasty mode. Before we get into the video, guys, as always, make sure to check out poodlecfb.com. Code WINTER with a capital W will get you $40 off the annual plan, and code WINTER capital W 2025 will get you 20% off the monthly plan. So make sure to check it out, guys. Remember, these discounts are recurring. What does that mean? It means it will last you now through CFB 26 and so on. So make sure you lock in now so you get the discount and it keeps recurring ahead of the CFB 26 launch, guys. When that game does drop, you're going to be in a situation where every little detail is going to be discovered, cracked. The code will be cracked right off week one while everyone else is still trying to look for YouTube videos to figure out the content. There's going to be hundreds of great CFB minds just in that chat, just cracking everything, sharing everything they're finding one by one. You're going to be ahead of the game. You're going to be ahead of the curve. So make sure to check it out, guys. The link will be down below in the description as well as in the bio, the comments, my Twitter. Make sure to check it out. Don't forget to use the code for your discount. Let's get into it. So if you guys have been watching, you know we have already made this video for the offense, so it is time for the defensive edition. So let's get to a team that's pretty great. I like to do that so you can kind of get an idea of abilities and stats. So let's go to Ohio State. Let's roll on down. And remember, when I'm doing this, these are basically stats that I don't generally care about when recruiting or having a player at this position, as well as abilities for them. So let's start with ends. At the end spot, there's a few different archetypes, so I'm going to go overall, like generally speaking here. So for ends, things I don't care about. Change of direction, not so much, not something I care about here. Awareness, I don't know. Awareness is always been weird to me. I feel like players just perform if they perform. I definitely care about play rec and power move and block shed. Tackling is one of those things where, like, you think in a perfect world, it's about tackles being broken on them. I don't care too much about tackling at end. I get my 99 tackle guys get broken sacks all day. My 61s, same exact concept. Don't care too much. Hit power, I think strips matter more than hit power, are separate of hit power, and I don't really care too much about hit power or tackle on my ends, because for the most part, they're not lining up crazy hits on running backs, and on quarterbacks, they're usually like shoestring tackling them or spinning them. You're not getting too many hit sticks, because you can't really switch on perfectly in that situation. I don't care about their coverage, their catching. I don't care too much about any of that. I do care about their stamina, their toughness, and injury, and their impact blocking is generally okay. It's not something I'm generally looking for. For me, it's always block shed, finesse move, power move, and play rec, and then of course athleticism. That's where I really sit. Now when it comes to abilities, I think there's a lot of important abilities at this position. There really is. Let's see if any of them have some. Like quick jump's important, pocket disrupt is important. The ones I don't care about too much are like those abilities like the wrap up and some of the ones for tackling based abilities. I actually do like a lot of defensive abilities in this game. I'm not gonna really down talk or downplay too many of them. The ones I don't care are like the tackling ones, some of the recoup ones, although I know it's important. It's not one that I'm absolutely looking for. For me, though, it's really just quick jump, pocket disruptor, grip breaker, and those, and the disruptors. Everything else is like okay. At defensive tackle, same thing with abilities. Obviously, duress, pocket disruptor, and all those. Takedown, not as savvy on that one because I've had it platinum and seen it not work. But same concept with abilities. Now, in terms of stats, athleticism is one of those ones where I don't care if they're slow, but I don't want them below like a 73 speed at defensive tackle. Because when you get to like that 60 speed range, it starts to get kind of weird. Like you'll see them break through the line and the quarterback can just run away from them. Or you'll see them break through the line and the running back can just kind of go around them. You don't really want that. I don't care about change of direction. I don't care about agility. I don't generally care too much about excel at this spot. I do care about strength. Obviously, I care about all these other things here. What I don't care about, I do care about tackle a bit more at this position because you will be in a spot where they're kind of trying to grab the running back. Like I said, I don't think tackle is overly that important, but at defensive tackle spot, I do care from the middle lane when you're up the middle trying to grab them. And then pursuit, I actually do care about more on this a little bit because defensive tackles could use the pursuit when they're trying to cut into a quarterback. I don't care about coverage. I don't care about catching. I don't care about jumping. I don't care about, impact block to care a little bit more about because they might get pulled on a little bit. But again, for linemen, like defensive linemen is one of those weird positions where there's a lot of things I actually do care about. I want them to be super well-rounded. I want them to have most of the abilities. There's not too much here that you're going to get. You're going to be like, yeah, that sucks. I'll take anything from my front. The trenches are so key in this game. Outside linebackers, if they're edge rushers, I don't care about their zone. But here's the caveat with that. If you're a guy who runs like a 3-4 or you end up in a situation where your pass rushers could either be in a purple zone, a flat zone, or rushing, you want to be checking that out. So I don't generally care about their coverage, but if you're a guy who doesn't pay attention and you let them sit in every package, you want to be checking out that zone coverage. So keep that in mind when doing that. Same thing goes for catching and jumping. If they have a really low jumping, really low zone, you're letting them sit in that 3-4 purple edge spot, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Athleticism, I do care about. Now, what I don't care about here is going to really be, I don't care. As long as they're above like an 82 speed, I'm cool with them at edge. 80 speed. If they're below like a 76, I don't really want them on the edge because, again, they might end up in the zone and they might rush the passer. So you definitely want to be keeping an eye on that. Change of direction. I don't care too much if they're rushing, but I do care if they're getting out in coverage. So, again, keep that in mind. Awareness, same thing. If they're rushing, don't care too much. If they're in pass coverage, I think awareness and play rec both play a role there. So I definitely keep an eye out for that. Block shot, I always care about. Definitely want that high. I don't care too much, again, about tackle usually, but because they're on the outside, I do kind of care a little bit more because they may actually be playing like a stand-up role at times, and that's where I feel like tackling matters a bit more. And then in terms of abilities, what abilities don't I care about? In terms of outside linebackers, I like Hammer if they're standing up. If they're on the line, I don't care about Hammer. For me, Hammer seems like a stand-up linebacker thing. I feel like if you have it when they're on the line, you don't really notice it. I haven't noticed it, at least. So if they have any of those stand-up linebacker abilities and they're your edge rushers, I don't care about it. Like, that was one of those things where it's like the not great to have. So if they have any kind of stand-up linebacker abilities, not great. If they have any pass rushing or run stuffing abilities, definitely much better. Middle linebacker, a little bit different. What don't I care about here? I don't care about pass rush moves or finesse moves. You're going to notice a lot of them have it. I don't care about pass rush or finesse move unless you put them on the line, where they can be very good at. I don't generally care too much about awareness because you're probably going to use them, at least for your user. I don't care about play rec if you're using them. If you're not using them, play rec is super important. So that's one of those things we have to process. Okay, he has bad play rec, but I'm going to use him, so it's fine. Speed, excel, king. Agility, change of direction, king. Hit power, definitely very good at linebacker. You'll notice with hit power, you could actually kind of hit stick tight ends. You can hit stick bigger running backs. With low hit power, you're going to be just thrown off when trying to hit stick. Block shed, if you're using them, I don't care about it. If you're not, it is essential for me. To be a 4-down player at middle linebacker, you need great block shed. If you don't, you will be a situational player. Bad block shed, when they run inside zone, you just get held to death, and they just cut through the hole. You don't get off of it. Pass move, finesse move, don't care. Power move, finesse move, I don't care about. Pursuit, I do care about linebackers because they're going to be cutting off those outside zone, inside zone type runs. I don't care about man. I don't care about zone if you're using them. I care a little bit more, but honestly, I've noticed this year, zone doesn't seem to matter too much at linebacking spot. In Madden, you'll notice a 99 zone guy versus a bad zone guy. I don't know. I just feel like they jump now. They're impactful. Obviously, abilities matter a little bit, but zone isn't. I haven't noticed a great zone as much as I've noticed like speed and jumping and all the other stuff. But again, I don't want a guy that's like in the 60 zones. I at least want an 80. Impact blocking, I think that's a little bit important because they will be taking on guys coming through the gap, so that's important. Now, in terms of abilities, I don't like when they have any kind of pass rushing abilities, which they shouldn't have if they're a linebacker, but if they're a stand-up coverage linebacker and outside linebacker, you might end up dealing with something like that. The wrap-up one, again, I don't notice it too much, but at a linebacker spot, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt a bit there. I love robber. I love all the zone ones. I actually like almost every ability on linebackers, except for maybe like the recoup ones and stuff like that. I don't know, but defensive abilities generally, I do actually really like in this game. Cornerbacks, what don't I care about? Cornerbacks hit the weirdest thing. Let's start with abilities. I hate when a cornerback gets quick jump. I just don't feel like I notice it enough. I don't like when they get quick jump. I like everything else though. Oh, I don't like when they get wrap up either. I guess as a slot, it's cool, so you can like not deal with as much block. But I don't care about wrap up or quick jump for a slot corner. I like jammer. I like blanket call and house call. Blanket coverage. House call is cool. Not something I care about too much, but if they have it, it definitely doesn't hurt to get like those before half pick sixes. What don't I care about? I don't care about strength generally on them. I don't care at all about. I don't care too much about catch. They're going to catch it. They're not going to catch it. You know how this game goes. I don't care too much about catch. I don't notice like severely great ball skills because they have it. I don't care about tackle too much. They're not going to tackle that well. I don't care about hit power because they're just not going to have it. Now, if you do move a safety there, that's different and it can be very useful, but I don't care about recruiting one with hit power. Pursuit, I think, is important. You'll notice a guy with like 95 plus pursuit chase down those running backs, breaking away. Trust me, that's going to make the difference for a lot of big runs. I don't care about block shot unless you put a safety there. Again, jumping, I definitely do care about. Jumping's very important to me because those are going to be the way they're going to jump things like crazy out of those purple zones. On those deep passes, they're going to get up 6 feet in the air. Important. Don't care about carrying. Don't care about juke. I don't care about spin, but I do appreciate when I have it because then I could spin around for like a big pick six. Stiff arm truck doesn't matter. Kick return doesn't matter. Impact block doesn't matter. Stamina, toughness, injury matters across the board in this game. Not recruiting for it, but it is very important, especially at positions like running back. Safety's very similar to cornerback. I like everything for safeties. Again, remember there's run support and there's zone. So I do like everything for the safeties in terms of abilities. The only thing I probably wouldn't like as much is maybe blow up, and that really depends on your scheme. So if you have Caleb Downs, who's a run support with blow up, aftershock, wrap up, and hammer, if you're playing him in a deep zone, which you likely will be, you're not going to notice all these things in the run game. So honestly, my only downfall of a lot of these abilities are like, these are more linebacker abilities, so they're very situational. If you're playing them in the box, they're great. If you're playing them at zone, they kind of suck. So if you play like a 2 high, or you play like a cover 3 and you only use them up there, no linebacker, no safeties in the box, a lot of it's going to be kind of wasted abilities. So keep that in mind when lining them up. Maybe this guy plays better at linebacker. I wouldn't switch him because he's a current day player, but you want to play him there. Keep that in mind. And then in terms of stats, I don't care about strength at safety unless they're going to be in the box. I do care about all their, I believe athletics is so important for a safety. Of course, if they're deep and other things, their speed doesn't always matter as much, but I like athletics on my safety. I like them to be athletic. I definitely care about play rec. Play rec's one of the most important things. I don't care about press. You should never be pressing a safety. The game's like, it's one of those things that you can have a 99 press and the game's coded to where like they'll be auto beat in a one-on-one press situation. Don't be pressing your safety. That doesn't matter. I do kind of care about catching because they'll be in those weird contested jump stuff, but similar to cornerbacks, not something I'm recruiting for. Tackling is definitely more important than a cornerback, but not overly recruiting for it. Hit power to me matters. A lot of the zone guys won't have it, so that's really archetype specific. Pursuit's important to me because they're going to be the guys like last line of defense chasing guys down. Block shed, if they're in the box, important. If they're not, it's not important. Jumping super important because when they do those deep balls and they're in cover 2, you're going to be getting those crazy jump over people, cutting off passes underneath. Jump's important, and then carrying, juke, spin, none of that really matters unless you're going to be going for a pick 6 with a spin. I don't think I'll be juking with them, but a spin can always be a little useful. But guys, that pretty much wraps it up on the defensive side of the ball. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them down below. Let me know what your thought process has been with key positions and key stats at positions. But make sure to check out poodlecfb.com. Don't forget to use the code WINTER or WINTER2025 for your recurring discounts. Make sure to check it out. When you do join, make sure to email me. You will see it over there on the member screen. That way you can get into Discord as quickly as possible. And make sure to check out all the spreadsheets and everything we got over there. You won't want to miss it, guys. All the new features we have on there. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace.